Hey everyone, welcome to the 2016 Bay State Woodies Classic and Wooden Boat Show. Here on Lake Quinsigamon, we're at beautiful Regatta State Park at the Community Sailing Center. And this year, we're actually going to have, not only are we going to have an antique boat show, we're also going to have the parade right out of this same spot. So it's a little bit new for us, but it's going to be great. There's some great boats that we haven't seen before, so that's a nice thing, including these over here. So we're going to walk on through and talk to some of the owners of the boats and get their stories and the background stories of them, and they're very interesting. So that should be cool. And then we're going to move on to the parade, where we'll go out and we'll see all the floats. I think there's 13 or 14 actual decorated boats, plus some of the Woodies will be going on the parade, including this guy right here in the middle. And we'll talk to him in a second, but he's going to be the pace boat, so it should be really good. Hi, we're here with Rich Help, and he's got his 1959, correct? Chris Craft skier.
Ski boat.
Ski boat. They call it. That's actually the name of the boat. It's called the ski boat.
Yes.
Maybe that's where the name ski boat came from. I don't know, but this thing is absolutely gorgeous. And Rich has a great story because it's actually been in his family. He's the second generation, but it's moving on to the third one pretty soon.
We hope so.
So and it's a driver, which is this is my favorite kind of boats. It's not just a display boat. These guys actually use this all the time. So.
That's correct, Peter.
Kind of bring a story.
So the quick story here is it's a 3-generation family ski boat. My brother and I, second generation, actually learned slalom and barefoot water ski behind it. It has very similar lines to the competition ski boats of today, actually. We barefoot and we slalom ski behind it at a young age. We've moved on, but we do still ski with it time to time. About 4 times we call it old school. We go back to the old days and ski some of these older skis. These are all family skis that we've used through the generations, and we just have a lot of fun with it. So we decided to restore it. My family has put a lot of sweat equity into it before I had it professionally restored, and we just hope to pass it on to the 3rd generation.
So when did you guys acquire the boat? You didn't buy it new, but...
Yeah, so the boat is a 1959. It was delivered to Bogies Marine in Candlewood, Connecticut. My father purchased the boat with his brother and received the boat 10 years later in 1969. So since 69, I've been living with it and learning how boats work, how V8s work, carbureted engines work, and through the 70s into the early 80s, had to fix the boat and learn how to fix it when it broke, more importantly. So it's been fun. Right now it's running great. There's no problems with it. Yeah, we restored it. It still does 42 miles an hour without a skier, and we can competition ski at 36 pulling a skier. So yeah, we have fun and we enjoy it.
That's impressive. I'm going to say that right now. I mean, I have a fiberglass competition ski boat, and my boat on a cool day does 42 maybe. Yeah. When it's cool down there. So I mean, that's only a 93. This thing's a 59. It's still doing it. Yeah. And it seems to me that I've seen a lot of antique boats over the last few years now that we've had the show, and at this size, you don't really see V8s in them. Usually the 6s and... Yeah,
so they call this a post-World War II boat, and the pre-World War boats are more the straight 6s. So I'm not sure exactly. I'm sure the judges here know exactly when the V8 was introduced, what year, and it's gone ever since. I don't know if it was a 58, 59, or 57, but... somebody does know that. I'm sure somebody can Google it and find out on the internet.
It's probably the 225-pound guy that tried to get up behind the 6-cylinder on a water ski that determined, oh, nope, you know what, we need another 2 cylinders in here.
So the theme is family. The skis you see, we've used them through the years. I learned to water ski with them. My father and my uncle had used the Chuck Stearns. The Conley is, the best of our knowledge, is about a 69 ski. I used it before I moved over to O'Brien's in the 70. So so that's it. That's the theme. If you want me to take.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind just kind of lifting it up and. I've actually skied on that one. You want me to take this for you? Okay, good. And you're right. That's about a vintage '69. Can you mind if I get in there with you so I can have the mic near you? Just going to crawl up here in the seat, if you don't mind. All right.
So your classic blue Chris Craft 283 V8 engine. I don't know what else to tell you. It's all carbureted, no fuel injected. Still a distributor cap with points.
How's it start in the fall?
It starts fine. You know, it starts like a carbureted engine. It's not really a problem. It's still dependable.
Still doing it. So I'm noticing off the carburetor some of these. I notice in real competition, the judges go by and they go, okay, you have to have this hose and this kind of thing. This looks fairly original right there.
Yep. Yeah, most of everything on this is original. You see a couple black hoses and stuff, but new wire harness. I had to do a new main wire harness. But yeah, no, everything engine block is original. There's nothing. It was meant to run. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah. Way cleaner than my engine. I can tell you that. So beautiful boat, Rich.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, hey, we're here with Paul Tebow. It is 1948 Chris Craft Deluxe. Okay, beautiful boat. This thing is pristine condition, and Paul's also got the distinction of being our lead boat, our pace boat on the parade coming up. So it's going to.
You won't miss me with the flag I have. Wait till you see how big it is.
Okay. Well, that's going to be a surprise for everyone. I hope it fits in the camera lens here.
May.
So, because we have a low budget, so we only have the one lens. All right. So, kind of take us through the boat, Paul.
Sure. The Chris Craft 1948 post-war Chris Craft. This was a very popular model. They made 1,880 of them between 1946 and 1950. This has hull number 1489, so it's 1948. You'll see a lot of these boats on the water. There's a number of them that have been restored. It was a very popular boat for the GIs who came home after the war. And the wood was hard to get back in 1946 for the war. So the Philippine mahogany wasn't always available. By 1948, it became more available. This particular boat has a K95, a Hercules 95. Hercules made a whole bunch of engines for Chris Craft. So you'll see that. 15 years ago, we purchased the boat. It was a gray boat. We took all the wood apart, turned it upside down, did the hull, all new Philippine mahogany, and we had the engine rebuilt as well. So it's been in the water for 5 years. It's on the trailer. We don't keep it in the water all the time. But we enjoy coming to the events, and this is a very good one.
So when you say a gray boat, is that because the wood was faded? Is that why it was gray, or was it painted gray? Oh, so it was just like faded.
It was left out in the, in the rain and the weather and so forth.
I mean, was it a garage find, or did you buy it off?
Actually, I bought it from a restorer who had done the bottom, but then we realized it needed to be done again. So we brought it home, flipped it over, took it all apart. It has about 80% new wood. It has the dashboard is original wood, and the ceiling board is original as well. It has one rib that was replaced, but the rest of them were all pretty solid.
Wow.
So, yeah. I did the upholstery myself. Actually, I sent away for a kit, and I did the crash pad all the way around, the seats, and the piping and so forth. So it's a little bit of a work. You got to use stainless steel staples so it doesn't rust.
Yep.
But anyway, it's a fun boat.
Yeah, Philippine mahogany. Mine's made out of Tennessee fiberglass. Okay, so big difference. I guess it's easier to get the Tennessee fiberglass. In Philippine mahogany, yeah. Mine's a 93. Yeah, but
the cutoff is 90. So in 3 years you can join the club.
Okay, yeah, it's coming
Yep.
as soon as I get it started. But what year is? What year? The Philippine mahogany was the wood that they used on these boats.
And so, back in the 40s, the wood is a little different now. It's not, Philippine mahogany is just like a general term. Some people use African mahogany.
Okay.
There's different variations of it. It's just, you really have to send the wood out to have it analyzed to really see what it is,
If it's real.
Some guys, they do a boat, a larger boat. They'll buy a whole tree, and they'll have one tree for the whole boat. So you'll see that in some of the bigger boats.
Wow.
But it's all book matched wood.
Yeah.
So we started with 6/4 inch wide planks, cut them in half, so it's book matched on each side, all the way up and down the boat and on the sides.
So how long does a project like that, take?
Well, it took me 10 years, and keeps me out of the bars.
Sounds to me it would drive me to the bars if I.
Well, that too.
I drive in the bar
times,
with the boat.
There were a couple of years I didn't work on it, so so I finally we handed it over to a friend of mine, and he finished the wood, and before the time I retire,
So you can actually enjoy the boat.
Enjoy the boat, yeah.
While it's still going on. Now, is the motor a V8 or a 6-cylinder or what's?
It's a straight 6.
Straight 6?
Yeah. So flathead 6. So the pistons are the same as the valves are the same as the piston level. So we had to take it all apart and have it machined down and so forth. And that's the original motor to it. I can open it up for you, but the hinges are on this side.
Yeah.
So
We're
unless
running
you
around
want
here.
to go back around.
Well, unless Mark just jumped into the water and held the camera up over the top while he's treading water. Would you mind doing that, Mark? Mark says he would mind doing that actually. So I guess we're not going to see the motor, but it's just a beautiful example. It's so shiny. It looks brand new.
They're all nice boats here.
Yeah.
I'm on the board of directors for the Bay State Woodies, and we just went around to judge the boats. We had judges' choice.
Yeah.
Not ACBS regulations or point system, just our own fun little system. And there are some really cool boats here.
Yeah. They are beautiful. Somebody told me at one point that the dashboards out of these were all from like the previous year model cars back when the U.S. car manufacturers used to change their models and their dashboards like every year. This looks kind of a period steering wheel and instruments from the 40s. Do you have any idea like what this came out of?
That's a Schiller steering wheel. You see a lot of them on the Chris Crafts. They were big Ford, so Ford Schiller had those in their cars. The gauges are original, but you see a lot of that in the 50s. You see the retro, the blonde wood.
Yeah.
You see that, so that's very popular.
Yeah.
This one did not have that, so.
Yeah,
it's a particular model.
It's still beautiful, and this is a typical color, the red, because the red interior is stunning. I just love it.
It's Tolex red is what it's supposed to be on the hull card, as Chris Craft had, all the details on the hull card. So it's as close to what we think is Tolex red, and so we have a little piece of it when we took it apart, because when we bought the boat, it had no seats.
Yeah.
But it had a little piece of the material that we could match it. So. But they're a lot of work, a lot of fun.
Yeah, beautiful thing. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Right. Good deal.
Thanks. Hey, I'm here with Jim McGrath, and we're here with this 1947 Century Sea Maid, and I love that name. It's a great name. And Jim's going to tell us about another boat that's been in the family. It's a family boat. I love this. Since 1947, his grandfather actually bought it new. So Jim's going to, can you just kind of take us through the history of it?
So this was made in Michigan. Century was in business doing that. Their motto was the Cadillac of boats, and that was their competition trademark against Chris Craft. Much smaller operation than Chris Craft. My grandfather bought it in 1946 and had it shipped to his summer home in Montana. Big Fork, Montana, actually, right next to Glacier Park, where it was used every single year for the next 50, 60 years. And then 15 years ago, I decided that I'd use it primarily for trick skiing and water skiing, so it's been very active doing that over the years. And 2 years ago, I moved it to my home, which is in Massachusetts, and restored it. We just got done putting 14 coats of varnish on it last year. Ooh. And it's really a fun boat. And as I said, it still water skis. I was water skiing with it a week and a half ago. That was fabulous.
So this is the driver. You'll just sit this on the trailer and say, "Oh, isn't this cute?"
It's a driver.
Yeah.
We use it on a routine basis, and we live on a lake ourselves in the Boston area. And we go out with it for cocktails every evening, and on the weekends, little water skiing.
Beautiful thing. Now, does your grandfather know you're riding a boat out there drinking in it and stuff?
He did a lot of drinking in it over the years, I will tell you.
So
A lot of martinis.
So he's looking down in approval then.
A lot of martinis, which were in the 1950s and 40s, the most popular drink there was. And the best part was in the afternoon from 2 o'clock on. In those days was drinking time.
That's right, cocktail hours.
Exactly.
I guess it was, yeah. So it's just a gorgeous boat. And you got the blonde wood on it. But the thing that really caught my eye with this, and I'm going to sneak under the camera here for a second and drive Mark crazy, is the bow emblem, the badge on the front. Oh, sorry.
And you'll see in a number of centuries. You'll see in a number of centuries of different models what those models are on the front as well. The blonde mahogany, by the way, is actually mahogany that's bleached.
Yep.
It's exactly the same wood, which is generally African mahogany in the centuries, and that's how they justified their motto of the Cadillac of boats, by using African.
I don't want to start anything, but what were the Chris Crafts? Are they like the Volkswagen of boats or the Hyundai?
No, they're really, they dominated the market in the old days from really 1920 on, when boats became very popular.
So probably like the Ford.
Yes, probably like the Ford, but many of them are very, very high-end boats as well. It's just that they had probably about a 70-80% market share for many of those years, and these were other smaller manufacturers.
So over the years, have you added on options? I mean, with the spotlight and the flagpole holder, all that stuff was with the boats?
I'm actually a real stickler for originality. And so you'll see a number of boats here today that have been replanked because they have to and the wood is gone. By contrast, aside from 3 planks, this boat is 100% original and has never gone out of original form. I'm a stickler for originality, and this is just an example of one of my boats.
All right. I mean, it's you have other ones, but
I have
other classics.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Chris Crafts. I've done 12 restorations over the years, done most of the work myself, not all of it, just as an avocation, a hobby, and I very much enjoyed it. And the boats that I've collected over the years range from 1906, and this is the most modern boat that I have, which is 1947.
Okay. It's a beautiful boat, and I'm really happy that it's still in the family, and I'm thinking to myself, I got like
really
a '93 fiberglass boat, but I'm hoping that I keep saying that just like my boat.
It's actually a very cool.
I'm hoping my grandkids will be standing on a dock someday talking about their grandfather bought it because they bought mine new, and
well,
you know
it's interesting. I'll tell you that over the last 10 or 15 years, for the antique boat shows, you're now seeing a lot of fiberglass come into it, and there's an example of that now. Simply because those fiberglass boats from the 50s and 60s are now nearly 70 years old.
Yeah.
And there was a great controversy in the antique and classic boat world about admitting plastic boats into it.
Yep.
But of course, the world works in one way, and that is we get older, and they get older too.
Right. And someone told me, actually, I got 2 years or a year, because mine's a '93, that it comes in as a classic or something.
Yes.
Yep. So
25 years or under is the definition of a classic, as I recall. And there are 3 designations. Then there's antique, and anything over the age of, I believe it's 75 or 85, is known as a historic.
Cool. Yeah, it's
How they do it.
it's just again, it's a beautiful
Thank you
example
so
of
much.
a boat, and
I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it.
it's impressive. So, all right, we're at the 2016 Lake Wiseman Boat Parade. We got some great floats, and the addition this year of all the antique boats. So there's a bunch of Woodies out there. It's something to see. And we're here with our faithful judges this year, Angela Snell from Shrewsbury's Parks and Rec, and Mo DiPaolo from the Board of Selectmen. And these guys this isn't your first rodeo, right? You guys did this before.
This is my 3rd one, at least. Yeah, always fun to come out.
Is it fun, or you're just the last one to step back before?
No. I like coming out on the lake. It's a beautiful place to be, so it's a good opportunity.
Yeah. You kind of grew up in the neighborhood down here, right?
Yep. Yeah, I grew up maybe half a mile from the lake. We used to be down at the old Spade Gill a lot.
Oh yeah.
The Tacit Beach, fish over over near Sunset. Yeah, we were down here a lot.
Cool. It's probably some good stories you're not going to say on camera for that
Right,
stuff.
exactly.
But and Angela, you've been a staple for us and coming down here and you know you got to manage the Donahue Rowing Center. Seems like a lot of fun.
Busy place.
Yeah.
It's a busy place. They had a lot of rowing events this year in the U.S. Masters, so it's been very active down there this year. So it's great to be on the water for once instead of on shore.
That's right. Looking at everybody on the water, right?
Right.
Yeah. Plus it's cooler here. You got shade.
Yes, it's a great day to be on the lake.
Awesome. So now you guys are veteran judges, and what are you looking for this year? I mean, you got to pick out something. What do you think? What do you think is the?
Well, originality would be high on my list, and then how creative, how well they interpreted their theme would be what I was looking for.
Good. How about you?
Same thing,
Same
you know,
thing?
creativity and how much, you know, effort they put into the decorations, you know, and how well it goes with the theme.
Okay, so how about energy when they're out on their float? Because it seems, you know, they start yelling and screaming, and, you know, does that count for anything, or are they just wasting their time out there?
You know, I like to see them playing the part and, you know, taking on a role on the ship or the boat. It's good to see.
Okay. What do you think?
The noise is fine. It's as long as it's appropriate to the theme.
Okay, all right. Sorry. Well, I'm just wondering because there's Vikings out there, and, you know, in case they decide to come in and take over the ship, my hair's out of control, like an old Viking. That's why they wear the helmets, I guess, right?
Right.
For the wind?
Well, actually, if the Vikings were quiet, I'd be disappointed.
That's right.
At least based on what we watch on TV.
That's right. That's marks off. And they should be rowing, too. I think that's, you know, having a moat is a kind of a cheat.
Right.
Yeah, all right. Here with Hannah Kane, whose hairdo is better than mine because it's not in her face. I guess I'm sitting in the wrong direction. But it looks kind of nice, don't you think, Kevin?
Very boatish, though.
Huh?
Yes,
Yeah,
you can
very
definitely
boatish.
tell we're out on the water.
That's right. So, it's authentic. We're not just like in between a green screen here. So, Hannah, you've been with us for like 2 or 3 years. I think since the beginning, right?
This is actually my second year out doing this,
All right.
which last year was so much fun, the cartoon theme last year, and this year I'm looking forward to seeing. I caught sight of a few of them as they were taking off, but I can't wait to see what they've done with this year's theme.
I know, it's pretty impressive, and there's more boats. And like I said before, I like the fact that there's actually the antiques are in the parade and getting involved. So that's pretty cool. It makes it a lot more compelling. And so I asked the other judges,
Yes.
what are you looking for in the boats?
I like the creativity end of it. I like to also see multiple generations participating in it. Sometimes you see families or neighborhoods that have gotten together and they're working, on coming up with how to make sure the theme is best illustrated, and I think that's fun. Last year you can tell there was some people that just had that extra sort of joy about doing it as well. They were so excited, like to be able to show you what how they had illustrated the theme. So I also just love being out on the lake. Like, this to me is such a treat. I don't get to go out on the lake every day like some people do, so I love being out here.
All right, good. Well, you know what? You could get a summer home out here.
I could get
It is south, I think, of Main Circle, right?
Yes, you know what? I'm sure there were a lot of people, but way back when our house was built in 1751, I bet there was a lot of people who kept a little cabin down here to come to maybe and
Yeah, I wouldn't be
do
surprised.
some other things. So maybe we can resurrect that. But
Okay, well, watch the Lake Show because we talk all about that stuff and the thing. So, what's I guess from your standpoint is important about Lake Quinsigamond?
Well, it's a treasure for our community and obviously for Worcester as well. I talk about Lake Quinsigamond all the time because it really dawns on me that a lot of people just don't see Lake Quinsigamond the way that people who live down here do. So I'm always talking about it. And for me, there's obviously the recreational opportunity. I mean, we see people over here in their kayaks going by. But there's also the responsibility end of it, of making sure that we protect the lake and keep it clean and do what we need to do to ensure that it's a healthy, vibrant lake, for many, many generations to come.
Amen. It's a treasure.
It
Really is.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. Thanks for all the work you do for us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.